Morning guys, so today I'm cracking on the third rolls. We're going to look at all the openings where we start with a 5-1 split or a 4-1 split, played like that, 8 and 23 or 9 and 23. They're kind of similar. I've gone through them all, and I'm just going to show you what I think are the interesting ones. And the first one, when opponent rolls with 6-5, if we start with 5-1, there aren't really any problems. Let's just have a look at double 6. I think it was the ace point rather than 7 and 2, but it's just kind of yeah, over this. I guess it just takes away half his roll, and the 2 and the 8 points together aren't part of the 6 prime, they're 7 apart, so kind of makes sense, even though it looks a bit ugly. But it puts us 20 pips up, he's in the air, he can't do anything, and he can have some awkward come-in numbers like 2-6. Yeah, I don't know, even like nothing, you can't really roll anything great. What happens if he rolls 5-1 here, something like that? Some anti-jokers. So that one was the only 5-1 difficulty. When we roll 4-1 and he rolls 6-5, 4-3, not 100% obvious, but think which 5 point you'd make while I'm clicking plus plus. You made your decision. It's our 5 point. It's like half an error, 0.012 from my notes, if that's correct. So our 5 point over the 20. I guess we're losing the race. We're only up a pip after the roll, and he's on roll. So we're not in a rush to anchor here as well when he's got no structure and man on the 6 on the mid just puts pressure on him straight away. So it's not hugely incorrect to make the 20. Often in these openings it's right over the 5, but here it's clearly the 5 point. And then moving on, we roll 5-1 and opponent rolls 6-4 and he makes the deuce point on our head. Obviously most of them we come in. 5-3, I think I got this wrong. When I looked at it first time, I thought come in on the 20 and come down to the 10. But it's right just to hang back. I guess on the 20 we get attacked. Here, it's not so bad. I mean, this extra spare on the 8 looks a bit ugly, putting 5-5, so I was a bit surprised. And this is the second best play, actually. My play was the third best. To be honest, I'm not exactly sure why. I mean, maybe it's the theory we're down in the race and he's got that deuce point, he's not really priming, so there's no need to come up. If we come up, we just get blitzed. So it's right to hang back. We're losing the race, don't get attacked. Kind of makes sense. Well, I mean, we can get attacked if we come in on the 22, but it's not where he wants to attack us compared to the 20. Have a think about what you do with 5-1, 4-1, 3-1 and 2-1 here. Anyway, the answer is to come in on the 24 on all of them, I think. So 5-1, 24 and 8, 4-1, 4-1, yeah, 24 and 8. Let's just have a look at the 4-1. I think it's going to be 24 and 9. And the same with the 3-1, 21 and 10. Yeah, there you can see it. And the 2-1, the same thing. 21 and 11. So I guess it's the same principle. We're just not in a rush to anchor after he's made the deuce point. It's one of the special ones, that deep point. We just come back in and try and play the priming game. Try and out-prime him. We're losing the race. Don't step up where we want to be attacked. No rush to make an anchor. We're not getting primed, we're getting blitzed after he makes the deuce point. Yeah. If we'd rolled 4-1 and he makes the deuce point, so 4-1, we split, we get pointed on with a 6-4. They're all the same as if we started with a 5-1. The only questions were double 3 for me and double 1. Let's just have a look. Yeah, so this was, I think both of them you're supposed to come in and make the 5.3 times, which is kind of looks ugly, but I guess we just don't really want to step up or bring another block into play. So this is fine over this or this. I mean, this plays really bad. So you just got to make your 5 point and the third one just come in. And the same with double one. We're going to make the 5.3 times just because there's no other convenient one. I mean, there's some, yeah, there are other positions where it's right to come in and make the point and slot, but not here with 2 blots, and he's got the 2 point board already. So yeah, it's just unusual in the openings to play off the spare off the 6, but these are occasions where it's right. Okay. What's happening? Okay, so we start with 5-1. Now opponent splits with a 6-3, and he's going to run all the way to the 15. They're all pretty straightforward. If we had started with a 4-1, opponent can either play 6-3 like that or like that. They're pretty close, but most people I think play that. So just for ease, we're going to look through these ones. No, we're not, because they're all easy as well. Literally nothing to look at. 5-1. Opponent rolls 6-2. He's just going to run. Let's see if there's anything interesting here, and there are. Well, I thought there was. 6-3. Have a think what you do when I'm setting it up. Quite hard to find, but the right player is 21 and slot the bar. Yes, we're losing the race because he's going to be 7 behind, but on roll, but we'll have to leave blots. We're going to get hit with any play, so we do the most constructive thing and dupe 6s everywhere, I guess. Must be the thinking. It's quite unusual stepping up to the 21. I mean, they're close plays, but because this gives them a good 4, 4s aren't great here. I think that's really hard to find. It does look pretty though when you see it. The spare is nicely distributed on our 6, 8 and mid. Sort of creeping forward, drooping his 6s. That's second best. That's the ugly structure in general. Any other play is an error like that. Not super easy to find. And just, yeah. 6-2. This time it's right to slot. So, not easy. I guess you're not dying to come out to the 18 in this position here with, when he's got 5 on the mid and he hits you. Maybe you can do something else. Not exactly sure. Just one of those plays, I guess. There's not really anything else great to do. Puts the checker where you want it. Again, it's close between slotting the 5 and just running. Just leaves him 4s. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. 4-3, you got a little decision. Make the 20 or hit. Have a think what you do here. I don't think this is easy at all because we're not really winning the race, but locking up the 20 is right. I guess the race is close. He's got to then safety the bot. Often when he's got a block, you can just lock up another asset because he might hit next time, might not safety it. He's got to keep it busy. I mean, it's not that much in it between making the 20 and hitting, but the 20 is right marginally. 006. How about 4-2? Make the 4 point or hit, and this time hit's fairly clear. It's half an error not to, so we hit and step up to the 21. Often when you've got 4 checkers on the 8 and 6, it's right to make the 4 point, or like double 4s we've seen so often. You make the 4 and the deuce, but here, even though there's the argument to unstack, you just hit here. So our 4-point value is not as much value as 20 here. So that's a subtle difference. If we'd have opened with 4-1, instead of 5-1 and he rolls 6-2, we get hit. So we're on the bar. Let's have a look. 5-1, I found tough. It's right to come in the 20 and slot the 5. I guess there's just coming in on the 24, having 2 on the 24 is just horrible, whether you play 8 or 18. So that's an incentive to come in on the 20. Once you're in on the 20, none of the other ones really appeal. And I guess he's got the blot. It's hard for him to do everything, to hit, attack, safety. It's right by a fair bit to make that some nice looking play, but not easy to find. 3-2 is difficult. It just seems so automatic to make the 22-point anchor. But it's wrong here. The 22-point anchor really is trashy compared to the 4 or 5-point anchor. The 3-point anchor is just trash. We've seen that so many times before. I guess there's no rush. Coming on the 20s right here, I guess it pressures the outfield. He's got to escape this block. No need to anchor up. It's not the worst play in the world if you do, but it's kind of pretty just to come in like that. So look at double 3. So we come in, we make the 5. I think it's just one of these ones I'm showing you because it's make the 5.3 times. It looks really odd to do that, but I guess instead of having 4 blots around, you've got 3. There's an error to make any other play. It just looks so counterintuitive, but just the other players just don't. Yeah. What can I say? I guess he's under pressure now when you've got those 3 defenders on the 24, 23, 22. What's he going to roll? You don't want those other blots lying around. 5-1. Going sequentially as usual. Now he makes a 6-1. Everything's run rabbit wherever we can, literally everything. 6-5 is ugly, but it's right to just slot the deuce. Leaves nice spares on the 13, 8 and 6. If we come down with 2, it's just giving him direct 6s and stacks our 8 too much and strips the mid. Just looks ugly. Just show you here. It's fine. Some of the ones are duped in a way. Over this. Yeah, it's obviously wrong when you look at it. It looks so ugly. Not sure why I showed you that one. The only other one in this sequence I had issues with was double 4. I mean, for me it would have been a choice between making the 5 or coming down to 9 and 4, and usually I'd make the 9 and 4. It makes 2 extra points and distributes the checkers, but no. It's one of these times again, you just unload the 4 and deuce point. I guess he's got a no point board, you've got a 3-point board there, and it puts these checkers where you want them. You can still make the other points later. It's right by margin. I think somehow you can see it's better here. Here, you leave yourself 5 checkers on the 6. Where are they going to go? I mean, obviously one of them's going to make the 5. And it's just too many checkers there and bad distribution. You just make the points. Got a board straight away. When he might leave a shot and so on if he runs. Yeah. So 4-1 instead. 4-1, 6-1. Everything was straightforward. 2-1, you've got a choice between the 22 and the bar. And often it's right to step up and when he's rolled 6-1, so you've got some air and make the 22, but not here. It's right to make our own bar, and I guess that's the priority when he's got 2 on the ace to make the bar. It goes up in value. Yeah, you're going to see it in a sec. It's pretty clear to make our own bar. Double 1, although we'd like to make our own bar with 5 and 6, just too many blots lying around 4. So we just make the 5-point and step up to the 21. Does 2 things. Makes a point, starts to escape, gives us some air, fewer blots. Kind of makes sense. Just looking through my notes while the plus plus works. Yeah, step up. I mean, 7 and 5 is way down the list. Error. Any of these plays are better. Okay, 5-1. Opponent rolls 5-4. 6-3. Not that difficult. I mean, we hit with the 3. Question is 6. Do we come out or down? And it's right to come down to the 7. I guess he's got that extra checker there and there, and yeah, it's quite a fair bit. It's an error not to come down. I guess there's just too many double hits, like 5-1, 5-6 as well. If we step out, so this was clear over this, and this is even better. Anyway, we've seen before with 6-3s in the opening. After 5-4, we make this play. 4-1. It's right to double hit. You know, often in the openings it's right to come down 9 and 5, but here, when we got the extra man in the zone, this spare on the 8 is so crucial in all these openings that just a double hit wherever you can. Well, 4-3 obviously not. You're going to make the 20, but every other double hit we kind of do it. So double 6 this time. It's wrong to make the ace. I think you can see why. Puts him under a lot of pressure when we make the 7 and deuce. If he doesn't roll a 4. If we do this, he could just come in an anchor. So this looks, yeah, looks nice. Moving on, 5-1, 5-3. Again, it's all run rabbit wherever we can, except 5-2. So it's just come down into the 21. Every other number, you know, like 6-2 or whatever, we just run. Yeah, I don't need to wait for the plus plus. So 5-2, it's right to play 8 and 11. No, sorry, I do, because it's quite unusual. You don't step up at all. It's a bit like after he's rolled 6-4, 5-3 is a deep point. No need to come into to step up here. It looks kind of ugly to strip them in, but that's the best play. Kind of unusual. When they're close, no, only 005 is not going to destroy your PR or anything if you do that. All the other plays are rubbish. 5-1. Yeah, we slot the 5 here. Can't really see anything else actually looking at it now. Well, I guess there's 23 and 8 is what I would have maybe played before. Race is close, wouldn't have thought to slot here, but this is pretty clear. I guess you're just priming yourself, making the 23 and leaving this structure here. What do you roll next? It's pretty ugly, so it kind of makes sense. 4-1 and 2-1 though, you don't slot. Let's have a look. So 4-1. This time it's just 23 and 9. Just the normal play. And 2-1. What is it going to be? 11 and 23. I guess you got the advantage of bringing a builder down somewhere in the outfield rather than stacking another one with the 5-1, which leaves you too stiff. I guess that's why. Not impossible. And the 4 and the deuce point, I mean, with the double 4, all the other doubles are pretty easy. They pick them between that and that, but not making the this play. So double 4, we unload these points, same principle as we looked at before. Nearly always right with the double 4 to unload and make the point. So 4-1, 5-3, they're all the same or easy. Double 5 kind of gave me, just have a think what you do here. I think it's simply the 3 point, 13-3 twice. If you run 1, 2, can't make the 3 leaving 2 blots, 1 on the 8 and 9. It's just too ugly to bring all the way to the 8. So it's one of these kind of weird ones. It's not easy at all actually, this play, because you know we're 17 pips up after the roll, so usually it's right to run, but here I guess you're nicely spread, already split at the back. Now what's he going to roll? You still got your 20 pips locked in, lead in a nice position. This is just ugly, but it's a big error not to make this play. It's just, I don't think this is easy though. I'm not sure how many top players would get this right. I guess it's just too ugly, and you leave shots on the 9 as well, 6, 2, 5, 3, double 4, double 2. So maybe it's not impossible. Well, it's certainly not impossible. Double 1. This is one of the times where you don't make the 5 3 times. You make the 5 and the 7 here. Some of these double 1s are a bit tricky. A bit like the double 6 responses. That usually there's not a lot in them though. Let's have a look. So this time it's right. You can see that now. It looks nice. And this doesn't look bad. It still leaves a blot. That's pretty ugly. So I'm not really adding much insight here, but there you go. Just looking through them at least, maybe when I have a look through, like when I rewatch them, something might pop out. Feel free to leave some comments. 5-1, 5-2, they were all fine. You run with everything. 4-1 was the only kind of humdinger for me. There's choices. You can hit, you can come to the bar, you can come to the 8, you can come up with both. But here it's right just to come out to the 18. Kind of simple play. Just duplicate 6s. It's not often you come out to the 18 after these 5-1 and 4-1s. But this is one of the sequences where you do. I'm trying to look through my notes if we come out to the 18 with anything so far. Not really. 4-1-6-2 hit, 5-2 we do. Yeah. So it's by a fair bit, half an error not to. Not quite really sure why. Maybe some of the 6s are duped. Yeah. 4-3. Why is that even a decision? Oh, after 4-1, we're looking at so the 5-1 was after. Sorry, just to go back. 5-1, 5-2, 4-1 is just to come out to the 18. Now, if we'd have rolled 4-1, the 5-1, same thing. We come out 18 and 8. Just tidy up the blot. That makes sense. So 4-1, 5-2, 4-3. We got a choice of 5 points. And here it's like just massive. To make the 5 point, our own 5 point. I mean, it's pretty obvious because you're not leaving the direct shot, but maybe I just showed it because 4-2, it's similar. You don't make the 4 leaving the direct 6. The race is too close. You just play to the 9. I don't know, in 21. They're not actually that hard. Yeah, double 6 is the ace point by a clear margin, rather than the hitting plays when you come down with 2 and hit. But then where's the last one? So we just make the ace. Yeah. 5-1, 5-1 was easy. 5-1, 4-1. We get double hit. they were forced, all the doubles were easy. Yeah, 5-1, 4-3. Just moving on to the ones I found hard. 4-1, 4-3. So let's have a look at this. 4-1, 4-3. So the right play for him is to hit on the deuce and split with the 4-3. And then the ones I had problems with were 5-4. Have a think what you do here. Do you make the 20, come in on the 20 and the 9, or hit? But this was right. I think this 9 point's pretty big when it's a point kind of 5 or 6 away from the blot. Tied up the race, makes him perform with the blot. It's just too passive when we're not winning the race to give him 3 5s and 4s, so this makes sense. Same with 4-3, just come in and make the 9. 5-1, 4-2. I only had a problem with 1, and that was a double 4, as usual. And this is a mate. Oh, let's just. Have I got this right? It's almost. Nah, can't be. Why have I got to make the 4 and deuce? Just can't be right. Not to make the 20. This must just be wrong. Yeah, I don't know why I had. Oh, I think. Yeah, so I'm making the 4 in the openings. This is why I had it noted. It's so often right to come up and down, like 20 and 9 in these double 4 openings, but here it leaves it stripped. And I mean, I think you can just see this looks nicer than stripping the mid completely. Yeah, 4-1, 4-2, double 5. So before we just sort of come down. What was it after the after he's made 5-3? It was right just to make the 3 point, but after he's rolled 4-2, it's right just to come to the 8. So this is a nice difference. Again, it shows like the difference between his 4 point and 3 point is just so big, whereas here we're getting primed. So it's right just to play this by quite a lot, you know? Whereas when it was like this, it was the 3 point we looked at. It's just a big difference between him having the 4 and the 3 that we're getting primed and we need to move. I mean, look at it, it's a really good position. In fact, it might be worth posting that on the forum, the Galaxy one. Like after 5-3, what would people do? Or 4-2. It's a good educational position. See the differences, I think. Not I think, I know. I love looking at the differences. What changes. Another tricky double 1 here. Make the 5 and I think we step up to the 22. We're getting primed. We kind of want to creep forward. It's just too big to make the 7, leaving all the blots. But again, it's different. Like before we made the 7 and 5. After the 5-3, but here we don't. We've got to step up. So that's another example. So here we step up. Right, we couldn't step up after the 5-3, so it's not a perfect spot the difference kind of scenario. Right, where were we? 5-1. Opponent rolls 3-2. I think whether he plays 11 comes down with 2 or this one is pick, and we're going to look at this one because it's what most people play. Yeah, 6-2, there's not a lot really you can do here except run all the way to the 15. Don't want to introduce another block, and it dupes his 3s. You don't hit with a deuce and come down with a 6. Not really that easy to find this play because, you know, you're just stepping out passively, giving it 1s, 3s and 6 5s. It's 22 shots, but it is the duplication of the 3s. Hitting just gives him too much, I guess. 4s, 3s, 1s, 6s, just going to get hit back and you've got nothing. Not super easy to find. Let's have a look at 4-3. So this is obvious. You make the opponent 5 point, but I showed you the difference because 3-2 you don't. Sorry, you do. You do anchor with 3-2 as well, not double hit or hitting down. But 2-1 you don't. It's clear to make the point. It's just a so much better anchor. But 2-1, you're not really winning the race, and it's just the quality of the 22-point anchor. His 3-point is just so much worse than the 21. So this time you hit, and obviously you move up with the 1. And it's often the theme in the openings. You make the anchor with a 5-4-4-3, 3-2, but not the 2-1. I mean, not the 3-point. There's a big difference in quality. Double 1 was tricky, but massive error if you point on him. It's right to make the prime. Again, it's unstacking all the points. If he doesn't roll a 3, he's in some trouble, and his 3s are duplicated on the other side of the board. Not massive error, but it's almost an error. Got a bit carried away. I guess double 0-1-5 is big enough for the openings, but that's pretty. Let's check us where you want them on stacks. I wonder how many people will get this right. Yeah, I mean, the same thing after the 4-1, 4-3, the 5 points right by a mile. If we roll 4-3, I don't need to show you. Even though it's 6 away from the block, we just don't want to leave the open shot. 5-1, 3-1 from villain. Anything super interesting here? Yeah, 6-3. 6-3 I found vaguely interesting, that it's right to play to the 15, I think, rather than 18 and 10. Leaving that block on the 23, I guess it kind of pressures that stripped 8 over this. Just running. And so many of the openings, it's right 6-2, 6-3 to come out to the bar and down, and 6-4 to run, like 3-1. You know, if we were like this, we all know the opening response is 6-4 we run, 6-2, 6-3 we don't. But here it's just run. I guess it's just too big to step out once he's made the 5 point. And we're split. Maybe the difference is we're split, so if he attacks us with the 1, we got the shots back with the 6. That kind of makes sense because he's stripped now. Whereas after the opening, no, not sure. Anyway, 5-2. Have a think what you do. Turns out 18 and 11 or running to the 16s pick 'em. But before I would have played probably 21 and 8. It's wrong. I guess you're stepping up to the point where he wants to attack. You come out here. So basically you've got to step out. Whether it's that or that is pick 'em, but this is bad. This is really bad. I guess you don't really want another checker on the 8 here. Stripping the mid to put another 5th checker on the 8's no good. So that's why. Just find another play. Kind of makes sense. So it's often not just about where you want to be with a back checker or the strategy of the game, it's what happens with a 5. Are you doing anything useful or constructive or destructive, I guess. Yeah. So 4-1, 3-1. Double 5. I think you should be able to get this right now. If after 4-2 it was right to run round, it's definitely right after 3-1 when we're even more primed compared to the 5-3. Double 1, 5 point and 22. Yeah, not that easy, but I guess stepping up to the 22 double pressures the stripped 8 point, and yeah, looks pretty. It's too big to make the set the 5. But after 4-2 it was the 5. It's difficult. I guess it's just the difference. So here, making the 7 and 5 is really bad. Error and a half. I've got to step up after he's made the 5 point. Just looking at the difference here. I know we've looked at this before. Just curious. Okay, so they're basically the same. Stepping up to the 22 is the crucial thing. That's where you want to be after he's made the 5 point, not on the 21. I think that's the key part. Yeah, 5-1. Last one of the regular combo responses. 2-1. We all know he just plays up to the 21. Everyone knows that one. Choice with 3-2. Double hit and come down, but no. Anchor's right by a long way. Again, it's a 4 point anchor. It's pretty good. What's he going to do next time if he anchors? So what? We've got a race lead. Yeah, race lead, it's obviously right. Same thing, we've seen this before, the 2-1, you don't. It's just huge difference in quality being stuck on his 3 point or 4 point. We've seen this before. So this time it's right to hit. By a lot. Really, that's another good kind of, even though we're ahead in the race, I mean, we're not as ahead as much. But it's right to hit. And it's not the end of the world if you make the anchor. But still better to hit. Double 1, same as we saw before. You make the 7 and 5 rather than point on him. 4-1. He rolls 2-1. He play it like this. I think everyone plays that response. A few tricky ones here. 5-1. What would you do? Have a Thinkalini. I mean, actually, there's not too much. Don't really want to hit on the ace, so it's 18 and 8, tidy up. It's no other convenient play. I want to bring 2 down. 18 and 8 looks fine. Yeah, that one wasn't too difficult. 4-3. Seen so often in the openings, it's right to make our 5 point, but this one is different. We've got a race lead, and he's got that blot 6 away. We can make the 5 point next time, maybe, if we're not hit. So here the 20 is clear. Yes, it pressures the blot 6 away. Here, I mean, he's just going to make a point and do something to counter. Yeah. Double 6. Quite a few different choices here. It's right to make the 2 and hit on the ace, going for the full out blitz. Rather than bar on 2 or ace point. It's game over, I guess, if he doesn't hit back. You know, such a strong position. Double 5. Some choices, but it's right just to go for it. Again, blitz. Because if you just make the 3, well, you've got to make the ace point. I thought it might be one of those positions where you make the ace and run out, but it's just not great if he re-anchors on the deuce, and it's just better. No need when you're split. Yeah, it makes sense. Double 1. It's not, well, it's not that easy. You know, you could tidy up that block, but no. It's right to come make the 5 and step up to the 21, leaving the block there. I think obviously we're not going to make 2 points leaving him a direct 6, but I think it was a choice between the last ace playing to the 8 or the 22 after we made the 5. I mean, you've got to make the 5 and the 22. The last ace, 8 or 21. I think it was right to step up to the 21 by a fair bit. That was third even. This is third even. It's an error. Okay. Now we've got to look at the double responses, and then we're done for the day. 5-1, double 6. 6-3. It's in vain just to run, so we play 21 and deuce. Kind of makes sense. Try and fight to make an anchor versus the anchor and unstack the 8 point. 6-2 slots the 5. Useless to run here when we're down in the race. 5-1, 22 and 3. Although we want to stay back, we also need a bit of air. 6 away. Yeah, I mean, those ones are relatively obvious. 5-1 I'm talking about now, where it's right to step up and unload. You know, there are other choices here like 8 and 5, or, I don't know, 22 and 8, but unstacking that point to the 3 looks a bit ugly. You want to make the points in order, but here it's right. Let's just have a look by how much. Not a huge deal. That second staying, but you want to stay back on all these positions thematically. Double 4. I've seen so many times that it's right to unstack the 8 and deuce, but here, no, it's an exception. You make the 9 point. I guess it's just some kind of out of board presence. Once he's made the 18, blocks him a little bit. That doesn't have much value, these outside points, once he's already out, but there you go. And the double 1, let's just have a look at this. Yeah, and here it's half an hour to do this. Okay, double 1. Didn't find this easy. I mean, making the 5 points easy, stepping up to the 22's easy. And where's the last one? This isn't. What am I talking about? Making the 5 points easy. Sorry, I don't know why I had a misere there. We can make the anchor and give us some air. Sorry, I'm going to autopilot mode commentary. It's very hot in here. It was freezing the other day. I got the heating up, and today it's kind of thawed and it's warm. No snow. Actually boiling here, not focused. Let's take off this sports top. Actually, it's like a ski top. It's not cold anymore. The weather's gone up. Right, so where were we? Let's finish these off. 4-1. If we roll 4-1 double 6. As the opening. I'm just going to go through these a bit quicker, because I've got to go to a meeting as well. How long we've been running? Quite a long time it feels. 45 minutes already. So these are tricky, these follow up after the splits. 6-1. Same thing, 3 and 22. That's clear. We need in the air to step up. 5-3. 21 and 4. We don't make the 3-point. Don't think this is easy. Like knowing to step up to the 21. You know, not on the edge of the prime, but I guess we don't give them good ones by stepping up, which are bad on this side of the board. And it slots a nice 4-point. But these are tricky. I mean, how many players do you think? Oh, it's not that big a deal. If you make, you know, that player's no big deal, but still. 3-1. We just make the 5-point. After 4-1, double 6, double 6. Yeah, just breaking change for a minute. If we roll 4-1, he rolls double 6. No, forget that. Double 3. Oh, this was cute. Let's make the board straight away with a 5 and 3-point, leaving these 2 blots here. I guess we're down, so still down in the race, and kind of makes sense. It does make sense, but it's just thought it's quite pretty. We'll just have a look at it. By a long way. By a long way over this. That's an error and a half. Anyway, it's pretty. Double 1. So before it was right to make the 22, but not here. No, maybe it. Sorry, I think it is. It's just the last ace. Do you come up to the 8 or slot the 5? It's right to slot the 5. Yes, some of his 2s are duplicated. Double 2, 4, 2. No, it is right not to hit the anchor this time. So there you go. Tricky. I guess this anchor's just, the 3-point anchor's just so bad after he's rolled double 6 and we're losing the race by so much, and we kind of gives us a bit of air, but I don't know, it's not easy. These ones aren't easy. Wish I had a hard and fast rule for you. I don't. I'm sort of just going through them so that I can have a look at them over and over. Like if I click fast forward on the YouTube things later, I'll just use it as a training guide, like training guide, like flashcards. 5-1. Double 5, we get blitzed. 4-1 I thought was quite interesting. But it's right to slot the 5, and it's so often right when you dupe the 4s in the openings to slot when you're down in the race. It's so easy to automatically just come in on the 20, but look at that, slotting the 5. Dupes the 4s, clear my 05, it's like massive. Double 5 I didn't find easy here. This is the right play over, even though you've got a race lead, I guess, yeah, it looks up an asset. Yeah, it looks better, doesn't it? 5-1 double, after the 4-1 it was all easy or the same. So we can move on to 5-1 double 4. I've got loads of notes for this one, it was really hard. So let's have a look. So 5-1 double 4, he's going to make the 20 and 9. If we roll 6-3, it's pick 'em. What to do, whether to play to the 4 or the 21 and 7. I'm just going to go through these one by one because they're quite tricky. And I haven't got the answers really why. Let's have a look. So running to the 14's an error. Down in the race doesn't do much. So just coming to the 4, but you don't want to step out to the 18 here. So that is pick 'em. But this, any of these plays are horrible. Actually, that one's close. So the 6-2, it is right to step out to the bar. It was actually pick 'em there. So 6-2, 18 and 4 is right, just by a little bit. You know what? I'm not going to wait for the plus. Just take my word. 5-4. Coming to the 4 or the 18 and 4 was pick 'em. So the 4 is clear to do this. The 5, whether you come down to the or come out to the 18, is the same. 5-2, 18 and 4 was right by a lot. So it's basically always right to step out to the bar there, except for 6-3. So 6-6. Have a think. It's wrong to step out, even though it kind of dupes 6s. We just make the 7 and deuce. I guess that locks up a couple of points, puts him under a bit of pressure. He's got no points on board, he's got to play. This is just the wrong idea. Even though thematically we're ahead in the race, I just guess you can attack or make a point. And 4 is a good old make the... I mean, this is amazing. Before it was right to make that outside point once he made the 18 after 6-6, but here after 4 you'd think the 9 point would have a lot of value blocking him. Like, I can't see many people making this play. How many people will get this right? I mean this is pretty close. I might just unstacks the 6, I guess, and puts him under some pressure. He's got to play. Thematically, you'd think making that blocking point, but I guess it just strips everything. Not a huge deal, but still nice. Some of these openings are so... well, they're interesting to me anyway, if no one else. I guess they're interesting to you or you wouldn't be watching them. Not many of you are, but I'm just doing it for myself more than anything. Maybe I'll get some more exciting content for you in the new year. 4-1, 3-3. Sorry, 5-1, 3-3. You play like that. Let's have a look. So 5-2 is the first one I found. Let's just have a look. If I found this tricky or not, I can't remember. My notes are a bit clouded on this. Sorry. 6-2. After the 5-1, 3-3. It's right, I think, just to slot the 5 by a little bit. Close between that and that, but 5 slightly right. 5-2, 18, 11 we just saw. 5-1, difficult to find this, but 18 to 5. I guess there's not really much, well, how many people would get this right? And it's right by such a lot. I don't think anyone would get that right if they hadn't studied this. It just looks so... I mean, 8 and 23 just looks, 8 and 22 just looks so normal. Anyway, there you go. Double 3, a bit similar to the double 4 I just showed you. It's right to make the board. The 5 and 3, you know, it's a bit surprising to me not to come down and make the 10 point here. Very surprising. I guess the priority is just to have the board. That's by quite a bit. I guess when he's got no point board, you've got 3 point board. He's under pressure. Can't really, makes it hard for him to leave now, doesn't it, actually? I mean, this just leaves that stack on the 3. Yeah, I mean, you've got to make the 5 point. That's why. Okay. For 1 double 3. 5, 2, 18 and 7. Not super easy, but I guess it dupes the 3s a little bit. And what else do you play? It's just no good alternative. 4, 3. That good old conundrum, which 5 point? And here I think it's 20, even though it leaves the direct shot. Just the 5 point. Oh, 5 point goes down a bit in value once he's made that advanced anchor. I mean, we can make the 9. It's like constructive build if we miss, but this is clear here to do this. So the 4-2, I think this is quite interesting. I mean, actually, it's not difficult. Obviously, the 4 we're going to make the 9, and you've got a 2. You don't want to step up to be 6 away from that 10 point, so you just play 24-22. That's not hard. Double 5. I mean, you make the 3 and step out. I mean, it gives you 1s, 3s, 6s and 5s. This isn't so easy to find either. I guess it gives contact everywhere and you've got the stronger ball in the race lead. And that's the right play over that or that. Don't think it's super easy to find this, but there you go. Double 2. Obviously we make the 9. What do we do with the last 2? We don't want to make the bar. 9 points probably better here when he's on the 21. Do we step up with both? This is kind of an unusual one where you bring all of them down. It does leave a pretty position though. No rush to step up here, I guess. It's kind of unusual in the openings to have this to strip the mid, but these 2 checkers aiming to make the 5 next time looks nice. Better than these alternatives. Often just finding the least bad play. Okay, 5-1 double 2. Um, 6-3 always seems to be a conundrum in these opening sequences after the splits. We've seen before with 6-3 it's right to run. Must be this duplication of 3s and 1s to make the 5 point and getting hit. Even being on the 23 when he's got the spare on the 8 is fine. But better than it's just too big coming out to the 18, or don't want to slot when he's got the better board and the race is close. 5-2 I've highlighted. Can't remember here what was right. We saw before you play 2 down by the 5-2 in one of these openings. Is it right here? Yeah, there's something about this 5-2. I guess you don't want to step out, and you've got a reasonable alternative here, so it's fine, even though it strips the mid. It's just too many shots stepping out. At least here you brought two more builders down to make a point. It's not that hard. Double 4, you make the 4 and 2 point unloading, assuring all these nice points, and we've gone through that before. Similar theme. 4-1, double 2, 5-3. I thought this was very difficult. What am I doing? 4-1. So it must be double 4. No, made mistakes on this. I don't think there's anything particularly. Sorry, 4-1, double 2. What could it be that's interesting here? Let's just have a look at double 4. And you make the 5 and just come down. Yes, come up rather. They'll pick them. Oh, it's 4-2. Quite easy to snap make the 4 point. No, that's right as well. I'm not sure why my notes have gone wrong for that. Sorry. I'm getting tired, to be honest. It's hot in here. Let's just finish off with the double ones. Forget that. Just pretend there's nothing difficult after 4-1, double 2. Got to admit, this isn't my highest quality video. Haven't got much to add. I'm just sort of going through it, so I'll look at the positions myself later. Let's have a look. 5-1, double 1. He's going to do this. Was it anything big? Yeah, 6-2. You know, before I think I would have just moved off the 23 to the 15. But it's right to come off the 24 here. 24-16. Maybe it's a question of duplication of the 4s, 4-2 or something, and 6-4 are good for him anyway. So 3's up. Yeah, it must be that. We'd rather be on the 15 than the 16, but he's got bad 3s after he's made the 5. They don't do anything constructive, so it must be that. That's the reason. 5-2. Did you find the double hit here? Again, when we got that 8, that extra spare on the 8, it's often right to attack. Come out, we're not really winning the race even. And hitting down is obviously no good, so double hits right here. If I double on 9, this is where it's tricky. 4-3. We don't hit, even though we can come down and give ourselves a good 6. Just too many blocks once he's made the 5 point, and the race isn't too bad, so we just play the ugly looking, it's not that ugly, but 13-6 by a long way. It's just not a good idea when he's got a stronger board and doesn't achieve enough. The last one of this video, 4-1, we're going about an hour. Yeah, 4-1, double 1. 5-1. Some choices, but it's right just to come to the 8 twice, rather than hit, or I don't know. Just this rather than stepping out. And that looks natural, but this is the right play. It looks kind of ugly, but it's right. So it doesn't like stepping out to the bar here ever unless you have to, once he's made the 5. And he's split. Just gives him too much. So 4-2, we make the 9, come to the 22, similar to what we saw before. Or the 21, they pick him. Double 4. This is a nice one to finish. That's the right play. Check is distributed for the 5 point. Just can't do this or this. So eschew the 5 point there. And if we just make the 5 point and play, even that last 6 is better than to the 9. So where's the play where play 39? Yeah. So this is like 150 blunder. You just don't, once he's made the 5 point, you just can't even direct 6s to get hit unless you have to. So that's right. Never mind the 5. Anyway, as I say, it's not the greatest value add. I don't really have any theories here. They're just, for me anyway, tricky ones. Not sure there's so many rules of thumbs, or if there are, please post in the comments. I'm going to be back with the 5-2 split and the, what's the other one? 3-2 split, and then we're done. See you when I see you.